Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway for the next round of the Output Racing League action. We are here in the final race of the regular season for the Birds Are Not Real 175, and it should be an absolutely cracking race. We've got the drivers heading out onto the track right now for a little bit of a pit party. And it looks like it's being led by the four of Jaron Sanchez. We'll have to wait and see. He usually gets out there in front and then drops to the back because he is a pleb. So we'll have to wait and see how it's going to be. And of course, true to form, he's dropping to the back now. Looks like our front row is going to be 50 of Christian Budd and the 22 of Gary Waterworth. Interesting combination. They're coming out of turn 4. We are off and racing here for the pit party. Waterworth and Brian Chambliss there on the inside line with the advantage at the moment. They got hooked up just a little bit better than the 50 and the 60. We're running very similar paints. That is going to be a hard one for me to figure out between Kyle Kraus and Christian Budd there. Saying that, look at these guys on the outside line trying to pick up the advantage here. We're already 3 wide there for about the 6th position. In fact, no, that's for 5th. As things are just a little bit sketchy there towards the back. Lots of 3 wide action, and around goes Christian Budd. And the big one has happened at the back of this pack. There's Christian's stricken car. See the 38 Thomas Harmon there in the background smoking. Actually, no, that wasn't Thomas Harmon. That's Thomas Harmon there. So who was it that looks like Thomas Harmon? I think it might have been Lizelle. He usually runs a similar looking car to Thomas. There's Jaron Sanchez. He's sitting on the back of this pack as Waterworth got shuffled into the wall by the looks of things. Here we come onto the back straight. Actually, no, this is the front straight. Short shoot before the tri-oval. Sort of 90 of Michael Sturgill there getting very sideways. We've got 3 lots of 2 wide. These guys are all side by side. From 1st through 6th in this pit party. Now Horton's just sitting there at the back. He's been at the back there since the start of this pit party. Just behind this group ever so slightly. Waiting for more death to befall them. This is easily one of the more fun, but also one of the more dangerous events that we conduct. Sometimes it's even more traumatic than Bristol. That's saying something. Chambliss is in the lead of this pack now. Here comes the 4 of Sanchez around the outside. But the 5 Mark Pentecoff trying very hard to effect a move here on Chambliss. Able to get it done though. He might just be pushing him. Hard to tell from this camera angle. Here comes the 4 and the 38 now on the outside. That 4 looking very sketchy there. In the second position on the outside. There's a 5 of Mark Pentecoff. One of Brandon Bennett just squeezing in front of him. That inside line is not organised at all. A lot of swaying back and forth. Sanchez trying to make it 3 wide. He's not going to be able to do it. There's the 9 of Matt Horton squeezing his way through. You see they're starting to catch up to some of the people who have been into the pits and come back out of it. They're riding on board with Chambliss. Now back with Brandon Bennett. And back outside the car again. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just going through all the different camera angles for a minute. Look at this. Drone cam. World's fastest drone right now. Well, there's a little bit of pushing and shoving. Oh, there's a 36 going slow on the outside there. That's Michael Watkins. Oh, and the 12 has just been murdered by the 38. Took out the 88 and the 4. Of course, the 12 and the 4 getting it in together. More death as we get towards the start-finish line there. the rest of the pack still continuing on. Oh, they've got a drama as well. There's the 21 of Chambliss doing some head spins. The 23 of Lizelle was also involved in that. How long do we have left? We've still got 14 minutes left in this practice session. There's still plenty of time for these guys to do some more creative drafting techniques. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they called another pit party here soon. Yeah, they come out of turn 4. Down across the start finish line. In fact, let's force these guys into a pit party. As there are people there on into the pits. That is not the right way to take the bus stop there for Christian Budd. Oh! Pounded by the 12. Oh, and Chris Champeau had gotten mixed up with someone as well. Also the 12. Of course, Matt Burgess causing drama. And it looks like we are getting another pit party. My plan succeeded. And it looks like they are rolling. So the reason why I haven't been going through the timing standings here for practice is because the practice times don't really matter too much because they're all draft affected. There is not one lap time in there that hasn't been because of the draft. And we're up and racing. Wait, did my eyes deceive me, or is that... That's Frank Isaacson, who started off the front row. And immediately Jaron pulled out to drop to the back, leaving Frank with no one to help him. And already Frank has been swallowed up by many people. And that sounds worse when I say it out loud. Poor Frank. Already see the 60 up there in the wall a little bit. That's caused a 3 wide. Oh, Frank just killed Chambliss. Frank just killed Brian Chambliss and caused a huge crash. Damn, Frank. Killed just about everyone there. And he's still up there in 5th in the pit party. Only 5 people survive the pit party, as we have enough time for about 9 more laps. Here we go now, the 78 of Brian Pizzakemi and the 5 of Mark Pentecoff trying to make a move around the outside of Christian Budd. There's a 13 of Travis Massia there as well. Looks like he wants to go to the high line. No one wants to draft with Christian. That's okay. As Brian Pizzakemi has taken over the lead of the pit party now. And Christian is going to be glued to his bumper. To the outside, Christian Budd goes. The 5 of Mark Pentecoff going with him. Looks like the 13 of Travis Massia staying to the low lane. He's going to try and help out Brian Pizzakemi here. Oh, Travis hit the apron after giving Brian a big shot. And it looks like the 24 and the 60 chose to take, the 9, sorry, chose to take the high lane as well. Christian immediately leaving them out to dry, jumping down in front of Pizzakemi. Now Pizzakemi doing the pushing on the 50. And here comes the 13 looking for the outside. We have 4 minutes left now in practice. Got some people doing burnouts, got some people drafting, some people trying solo laps to see what their times are. Got 25 drivers signed up for this race. As we now have about 4 laps left in this practice session. Oh, a little bit sketchy there at the back between the 81 and the 13. Corey Williamson in the 81. The 13 is Travis Massier. Travis has dropped off the pace here a little bit. Frank is the one pushing the 50 now. Oh! A big block was thrown, and Frank, unfortunately, nothing he could do there, taking out the 9. That was a 9 of Matt Horton. Go 3 wide. No one's pushing anyone in the outside lanes. Inside lane is where all the pushing action is at. Oh, Mark got a little bit loose there. Made contact with Corey and also took out the other car that was there with them. Pretty sure that was the 13 of Travis Massier. The 81 now, Corey Williamson decides that he wants to take the grass route. As we have about a lap and a half worth of time left in this practice session. Guys, we are going to go to a commercial break now. And when we come back, it'll be time to see how the grid will be formed here for the Birds Are Not Real 175 live right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel from the Daytona International Speedway. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Alright guys, we are back and the grid has been set. It's time for us to go through it and see who is going to be starting from where. Ooh, here we go, nice little grid cam here. So it's going to be Jonathan Hernandez on the pole with a 47.428. Kick things off. Evan Rice P2. Christian Budd in third with Brian Chambliss in fourth. Michael Watkins in the 36 will be out of fifth. Thomas Harmon will be out of P6. Seventh will be the 23 of John Lazelle. As I'm going to go back to where I was at the front here. I stuffed it all up. There we go. Kyle Kraus will be out of P8. Blake Maddies will be out of P9. P10 will be the 2 of Chris Champeau. Going to be Travis Massier out of 11th. Andrew Perkins 12th. Frank Isaacson 13th. Jonathan Bell 14th. Brian Pizzicami out of 15th. Mark Penticup out of 16th. Gary Waterworth out of 17th. James Lindow will be out of 18th. Michael Sturgill 19th. Jaron Sanchez 20th. With Zach Floyd in 21st. Be Matt Horton in 22nd. Sam Niederhelm in 23rd. Matt Burgess 24th. Brandon Bennett in 25th. And Corey Williamson out of P26. As we see the field making their way out onto the track now. Waterworth slow off the mark. So the top 18 set times, but only the top 16 will be eligible for the Hard Charger Award, being as though they did pretty good times actually, and the other two were quite a bit off. So that is our grid as it stands here for the start of the Birds Are Not Real 175 here from the Daytona International Speedway. I'd like to thank Birds Are Not Real for coming on board for this race. Because if you didn't know, all the birds were replaced with spy drones. And that is why birds are not real. Government spying on everyone. Birds are all extinct. Prettier the bird, the more memory it carries. Why do you think birds have a photographic memory? But here we go, as we are coming to the green flag. Gonna be Hernandez and Rice on the front row. Budd and Chambliss, third and fourth. The pace car goes in. The first start is on green. And we're off and racing. Jonathan Hernandez with the lead as they come across the line. And getting the help from the 50 of Christian Budd is definitely going to be a big advantage for him. 21 and the 6 on the outside line. Just not quite as organized as that inside line. Because there's 3 pushing on the inside. There's only 2 on the outside. At the moment, it looks like Christian Budd has worked his way into second place overall. He's going to take the outside line now. He's going to try and go for that lead as he slides up in front of the 6 of Evan Rice. Might not get it this time, though, because Thomas Harmon is still right there on the back of the 88. Evan Rice had to check up a little bit with the move made by Christian Budd. And it looks like the 88 car is going to drop down to the back of the pack. He's pulled down to the apron there. That's going to put the 38 of Thomas Harmon into the lead, with the 21 of Brian Chambliss providing the backup for him. Here we go into the short chute before the tri-oval. And it is going to be Thomas Harmon leading it this way, this time from Brian Chambliss and Evan Rice. Wow. I don't know who that was, but that was a very quick move out of the line there. We already have a car a lap down as well. That is the 9 car of Matt Horton. Looks like he's only just taken to the grid as now the 38 pulls to the apron to drop to the back. Going to leave us with the 21 of Brian Chambliss in the lead. 6 of Evan Rice on his tail. Strength of field in this race is a 27.41 out of the 27 people who are in this server. You can see now the 21 pulls to the outside lane. This is going to give the 6 of Evan Rice the lead of the race. Michael Watkins sitting there in second at the moment. And John Lizelle, 23 in the standings, the 9 on track, is in third. And if you're wondering why no one wants to be the leader right now, it's actually a very simple explanation. Fuel economy. If you're at the front, you're not saving fuel. If you're behind and you're in the draft, you are saving all the fuel you can. Because you don't lift as much when you're the leader. So 6 of Evan Rice, you can see the 12 on the track, the 22 in the standings of Gary Waterworth there in P2. He is looking to make up some position here as well. At the moment, the status quo is that inside line is looking pretty damn good. Rice, Watkins, Lizelle, and Waterworth at the moment. Waterworth, the leader of the outside lane. But he's down in fourth. Got Chris Champeau behind him in that 2 Marlboro car. But Chris isn't really getting close enough to him to push him towards the front, although he is now as they come out of turn 2. Might have just been providing a little bit of a gap there for him to close up onto. Doesn't look like Chris likes to get too close in the corners. On the straightaways, though, he is right there on the bumper of Waterworth. They cross the line this time. Just Evan Rice in the lead. They go through turn 1. It is Waterworth in the lead now, but it's a close battle. As now the 36 car pulls down to the apron to drop to the back. That's going to allow this outside lane some advantage. Now Waterworth and Champeau are the leaders. Just an update on Matt Horton. He is 3 laps down. Not sure how he ended up so far down, but he is 3 laps down. And if you look to the outside line, you see 48 of Andrew Perkins and Jonathan Bell working together. Now Perkins leaves Bell hung out to dry as he takes over the lead of the inside line from Waterworth. Waterworth not liking that one too much. Started looking around to see if he could find a way Perkins, but unable to do so as they went through 1 and 2. Two of Chris Champeau now pulls the ripcord, goes to the apron so he can drop to the back. And it looks like Jonathan Bell has taken the lead, but not for long, because here comes the 28 of Zach Floyd. Undercut him, left him out to dry, pushed him to the front, and then left him for dead. Zach Floyd now with the lead as we come across to start lap number 12. Actually, no, it's start lap number 11. My apologies. There's still close, hard, fast racing here at the front of the pack. And everyone but 2 people are still in this pack. I can see the 36 is tailing off towards the back. He's well and truly lost the draft. That's Michael Watkins. 12 seconds back from the lead. Of course, Matt Horton, who is 3 laps down. The lead of this race is still with Zach Floyd in the 28. The 48 right on his tail. It's actually quite funny because the Axalta paint with the Ally paint. This is Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson right here. The only problem is Jeff Gordon is running the 28 instead of the 24. I'm actually more surprised that there hasn't been more drama yet. Normally we get some very early drama in these plate races. Everyone's playing really nicely at the moment. Everyone got all their wrecking out of the way in practice by the looks of things. Not too much change going on here in the front of the pack. Almost had our first 3 wide of the day there. Jonathan Bell thought better of it. Let's see what our static cameras can do, and let's crank it up here for a little bit. Oh, actually no, it's all gone wrong. Our leader has been crashed. We have a caution. Frank Isaacson is involved. Still people piling into it. The 81 of Corey Williamson involved. Just as we were about to crank it up, let's back this up and see what unfolded for our leader. And the outside line came in. There's the 48 of Andrew Perkins. And he wasn't clear. He cut down across the nose of Zach Floyd, hit the apron, drifted back up. Zach had to check up. Everyone had to try and check up, and Zach was put around by the 6 of Evan Rice. Evan will have damage. The Fake 9 will have damage. Frank Isaacson obviously with damage. Not sure who that other car is there. But they will have damage. The 12 will have a little bit of damage. 81 will have damage. He came into this very late and bought a piece of it. 88 very lucky to not be involved. The 2 very lucky to not be involved. And that involved a lot of really fast people. All right, so we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to see how everything unfolds after the pit stop cycle. So make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, here we go. We are back here for the Birds Are Not Real 175 live from the Daytona International Speedway. As you can see, we are under caution. We just got the 1 to green. And the order... Whoops. Oh, Zach Floyd doing burnouts in the pits. Let's go back to a normal camera angle. So the order is going to be Andrew Perkins, Christian Budd, Michael Sturgill, Kyle Kraus, Brian Chambliss, Brandon Bennett, Blake Matties, Evan Rice, Thomas Harmon, and Sam Niederhelm as your top 10. Going to be Mark Pentecoff, Michael Watkins, Jaron Sanchez, Corey Williamson, Travis Massier, Jonathan Bell, Matt Burgess, Brian Pizzicami, James Lindau, Jonathan Hernandez, John Lazelle, Chris Champo, and Gary Waterworth rounding out your field. Zach Floyd is now going to be out of the race. Frank Isaacson is a lap down, and Matt Horton getting one of his laps down back is now 2 laps down. And it looks like I pressed the wrong button again.
Go. Green flag.
You guys couldn't hear a damn thing I said, and I didn't even realize it. Andrew Perkins in the lead of this race. The 90 of Michael Sturgill. Jack Floyd is OUT out of this race. Sturgill now looking to the outside to try and take the lead away, and he's going to get there. And he did that without draft assistance from behind. So now, while we got this restart up and going, we're going to go and crank it up as soon as I find the right button to press. There's so many buttons, I don't know what to do with myself with them. So here we go, time to crank it up. Oh, we're back, and the 6 of Evan Rice just got pushed around. Oh no, he's just gone through the end of pit lane. That's unfortunate. That means that he's going to have to serve a pit lane penalty there. That is, unless he gets that black flag cleared. But that is unfortunate for the 6 of Evan Rice. He was looking pretty strong there early. Back up towards the front of the pack, we have a 3-car breakaway now. It's the 90, the 28, 21, and the 48, sorry. So Sturgill, Chambliss, and Perkins with a tidy little second gap over the rest of the pack. It's not going to last too long, though, because it's only 3 cars. The draft of the many will outweigh the draft of the few. Although it is not terribly unheard of for the draft of the few to be faster. It's just very improbable. Behind these guys, it looks like we've got a little bit of a gaggle in the minor placings. Once I find the mouse, there it is. Here's our gaggle. A couple of lapped cars in here, or at least just one lapped car. Being led by the 13 of Travis Massia. These guys 2.5 seconds from the next group in front of them, which is just 2 cars of Sam Niederhelm and Michael Watkins. These guys will be trying to work together to at least get caught back up to the field. But we are going to go back to looking at our leader now. And the lead might change soon, because here comes the 48 of Andrew Perkins on the outside with the 50 of Christian Budd. They do have their nose just in front of Sturgill. We'll have to wait and see if they can affect the move going through turns 3 and 4. In fact, they're not even going to wait that long. They're going to do it here on the back straight. At least Andrew Perkins is. He comes down and takes the lead, but it's not going to be for long, because here comes the 50 of Christian Budd with the help from the 22 of Gary Waterworth, and they have just taken the lead away. As the cameras update. But there is Christian Budd in the lead. Sturgill now looking to make a run of his own to get back towards the lead of this race. The other two packs are starting to catch the leading group though. But look at this run that these two are getting here at the front. In fact, these three are getting at the front. Andrew Perkins there sitting in third. They pulled away just very slightly from Jonathan Bell. And it strung out this top pack a little bit. As we are on lap 28 of 70. You heard there the engine roar of one of the lap down cars. I do believe that one was the 24 of Frank Isaacson. He is one lap down. I know one person who would be looking for a caution right now would be the 6 of Evan Rice. Because he's not far up the road from the 24 of Frank Isaacson, as now to the outside goes Waterworth and the 48 of Perkins. Remember, Waterworth is the 12 on track, but the 22 in your standings. He likes to run one of them custom numbers that confuses commentators. Christian Budd still going to lead this lap though. Now Waterworth has run out of help as Perkins dropped down into the lower lane. 3 wide with the lapped car of Mr. Frank Isaacson. And that's a shame, because Frank was looking strong in the draft in practice. At one point in practice, before we went live, he even had the fastest lap. Currently, the fastest lap belongs to Brian Pizzakemi, 43.919. As we now have one big glorious group again, besides the 23 car who was dropped off the back. That's John Lazelle. He is half a lap behind the leaders. As the 24, Frank Isaacson has dropped off the back of this pack again. So Matt Horton is now in the lucky dog position, but not for long, as these guys are very rapidly catching up to Evan Rice. As Brandon Bennett starts experimenting with some alternate dimensions there. He's going to check out the field a little bit behind him. As now Evan Rice has been put a lap down. If a caution was to come out and he's not involved, he will get the lucky dog. It looks like Waterworth actually stayed with him there to bring him up to speed so he could join in on the draft. But at the moment, it's looking like the entire field has singled out here, so we're going to take this advantage to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue with the racing action here from the Birds Are Not Real 175 live from the Daytona International Raceway. Welcome back to the Birds Are Not Real 175 here from the Daytona International Speedway, and we have just crossed halfway done. 35 laps down, 35 laps to go, and our leader is still the 50 of Christian Budd. As you can see, Jonathan Bell, who blinked out there very slightly, experimenting with some alternate dimensions himself, is in P2. One of Brandon Bennett in third. Harry Waterworth trying to battle it out with the 48 of Andrew Perkins for fourth. Now, one thing we talked very briefly about at the start of this race is fuel conservation. We might be seeing some green flag pit stops here soon, depending on how much fuel is kept in these tanks. I'm not entirely sure myself. I wasn't paying that much attention in practice. But it will be interesting nonetheless, as now we see a move being made there on the outside by Jonathan Bell with the help from Gary Waterworth in the 22. Andrew Perkins up there in the outside as well. So is the lapped car of Evan Rice. It looks like Brandon Bennett gave Christian Budd a great push down the back straight, which helped him out in the corner. But now coming across the start-finish line, that was close. But it was still just Christian Budd in the lead, as this outside line is starting to get a little bit disorganized. We're also starting to catch up to John Lazelle, the 23 car, who is soon to go a lap down. But let's see what these guys at the front here can do. Just remember, for a lead change to count for the points, it must occur before the start-finish line. So for Jonathan Bell to earn bonus points here, he has to be leading at the line. Brandon Bennett was experimenting with an alternate dimension then. Right behind him is the 12 of Matt Burgess. He's just poked his nose in front of Jonathan Bell, which makes him third. A lot of people experimenting with alternate dimensions now. Can't quite tell who that is. I think that is the 8 of Blake Matties. Now Christian Budd moves to that high lane to block. Looks like Jonathan Bell got into the wall a little bit there. And this might work out very badly for the 50 of Christian Budd. Because Brandon Bennett now taking the lead in the low lane. Christian zigged when he should have just stayed still. And Brandon Bennett has now officially led a lap here at the Birds Not Real 175 from the Daytona International Speedway. 12 of Matt Burgess right there on his tail. Evan Rice still right up there as well. He is the first car a lap down. So if we were to get a caution, he would be the lucky dog as long as he's not involved in the wreck. As the 8 of Blake Maddays is experimenting with alternate dimensions again. He's got to watch out for that. At a big drafty track like this, that can spell disaster. Oh, pit stops have been started and there's contact between the 12 and the 1 on the way into the pit lane. This has now left Gary Waterworth in the lead. A lot of cars into the pits that time. See what these guys do. When will these guys pit? So we got Waterworth, Watkins, Hernandez, and Chambliss up here with Evan Rice. Lizelle running all by himself there in the high lane. And they're coming into the pits this time. So is the second pack as well. You can see Mark Pentecoff, Thomas Harmon, and Chris Champeau in there. Everyone pitting within 2 laps. It'll be interesting to see how things are going to play out from here. And I think Chambliss just officially led that lap, being the first one across the line. Go back out onto the track. The battle between Blake Matties and Brandon Bennett. So we got to keep an eye on that as they're coming around the tri-oval now. See where everyone shakes out. This first group is on a charge right now. They're catching up to the people that were in the second lot that pitted, which is being led by Evan Rice, which puts him back on the lead lap at the moment. But look at the speed that they're carrying by pitting one lap earlier. And just like that, Blake Matthews is in the lead of the race. Oh, but not for long. He swooped back up high. Jonathan Hernandez in the low lane has now taken the lead. All Blake had to do was try and maintain the lead for one lap. Now we're going 3 wide. Chambliss in the middle. Blake and Jonathan, both of them, were experimenting with alternate dimensions there. But Chambliss has taken over the lead of the race right now. Hernandez was the one who crossed the line in first, but he's starting to drop back. Got plenty of 3 wide action going on here as he's dropping to the back. Brian Chambliss is in the lead of this race, so that means that the 6 of Evan Rice is now 1 lap down again. First car 1 lap down. There's Blake Matthews trying to give him a push. Christian Budd in the 50 on the outside with help from Brandon Bennett. Chambliss still maintaining the lead at the moment. Three wide in the back there. Jonathan Bell was on the inside and Gary Waterworth in the middle. Got 21 laps to go. Oh no, Chambliss gets into the wall slightly there. Oh, Andrew Perkins got into him a little bit. That made Perkins loose. Waterworth leading the outside lane now. Evan Rice offering his assistance to the leader, but the leader is blinking. Experimenting with the alternate dimensions. Gonna make Evan Rice think twice about wanting to push him. There he goes again. And he pulls out of the line. He's going to start dropping towards the back. Oh, he comes back on in a very dangerous place, making it three wide again, blinking out some more. Not a good day for Blake Matties right now. Gary Waterworth has now taken over the lead of the race from Christian Budd. We have 19 laps left to run in this race. Oh, a little bit loose there from the bump from Christian Budd. That almost sent Waterworth into the 90 of Michael Sturgill there, who's trying to head the outside line. But the 27 of Jonathan Bell there with him. Jonathan Bell giving Sturgill a big shot. Put Sturgill into the lead. Sturgill has officially led a lap. Sturgill and Bell now moving down to the low lane, asserting their dominance. Christian Budd, what a move. He was behind Waterworth and then he just slid up very smoothly into that high lane in front of Brian Chambliss. We're starting to catch up to the 24 Frank Isaacson once more, who's decided to run the super modified division. Got three wide action as Frank is starting to drop down through the field once more. Sturgill just holding on to the lead for that lap. Not sure how long this is going to last though. As Christian Budd fell back in the corner there, trying to get towards the bumper, the front bumper of the 21 of Chambliss, so he could push him down the back straight here. There's the two of Chris Champeau as well, having an excellent run, sitting up there battling for fifth right now. Here come a few others of the regular suspects as well. It's all the four of Jaron Sanchez there. The 38 of Thomas Harmon is in this front pack. Jonathan Hernandez is in this front pack as well. This is why I love Super Speedway racing, because it throws a couple of wild cards into the mix. Like the 81 of Corey Williamson, currently sitting in 9th. Now, it's not very often that we say Corey Williamson is in 9th, but here he is. As we come across the stripe this time, who's going to lead the lap? Oh, that was too close to call. I'm pretty sure that was Sturgill who led that lap. Now Sturgill and Bell with the slight advantage here coming out of turn 2. We're going into 3. Going to be Christian Budd with his nose ahead. He's got a full car ahead. He doesn't want to drop down without Chambliss by the looks of things, because Chambliss is a great pusher at these plate tracks. Still pretty close quarters racing here for the front. Christian Budd in the lead. And he was leading as they came across the stripe. Who's it going to be this time, as the two of Chris Champeau pulled out a line there very slightly. Sam Niederhelm is up there. Jaron Sanchez in the middle of 4 wide. That little bit of disorganization in the outside line became an undoing for them. Sturgill and Bell holding on to the advantage again. I think that was the two of Chris Champeau who caused that little bit of a kerfuffle there. As we come through to Tri-Oval now, we're going to have 11 laps to go as they come across the start-finish line. Close, hard battle here between our leaders. This is the kind of racing that we absolutely love. We haven't been able to look away from the front of the pack pretty much this entire race. As we come to the start-finish line, we're going to get the 10 to go signal. 10 laps left to run in this race. And it looks like at the moment it's going to be a battle between Sturgill and Christian Budd for the win. If this outside lane stays completely in sync like they are right now, then Christian Budd could take it. But if there's any kind of disorganization from either the 2 or the 4, and that could spell disaster for this top lane. We come out of turn 4 down to the start-finish line again. And it's going to be Sturgill leading the lap this time. Fastest lap of the race still belongs to Brian Pizzicami, who is down in 17th right now. At the back of this pack, 1.4 off the leader. He's waiting for there to be a end of the race drama, as now the 27 of Jonathan Bell, he wants the lead. He moved up to the high lane in front of Christian Budd. He waited for the perfect moment where he was clear to do it. Now Gary Waterworth in the 22 is the one pushing Sturgill. But this has led to a little bit of disorganization in that lower lane now. That high lane is still pretty damn organized. But with Jonathan Bell going up there unannounced, that definitely checked them up a lot, which made them lose a lot of momentum. We've got a lot of organization coming back into this lower lane now. Sturgill's going to lead this lap clean and clear. Here comes that outside lane now. They got a little bit more organized. That 12, though. 12 on the track. The 22 in the standings of Gary Waterworth. He is one hell of a pusher. He just gave the biggest shove to Sturgill. It looks like we were just about to go 3 wide there. Jonathan Hernandez looking to get that third lane going. And he's up there now. We got 3 wide back there. With Sanchez in the middle, Blake Matty's on the inside. Sturgill still the clean and clear leader at the moment. It looks like Sanchez saying nope. Jump down into the low lane this time. Everyone's starting to look a little bit shifty as we're coming to 5 to go this time. Now the outside lane is right there with the leaders. Will Jonathan Bell be able to lead this lap? It doesn't look like he will this time. That outside lane is coming as well. We're 3 wide for the lead here for the Birds Are Not Real 175 from the Daytona International Speedway. The 88 of Jonathan Hernandez and the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Frank Isaacson says, I'm seeing what's going on back there and I'm not liking it. He pulls right down to the apron. He's going to take a little bit of grass here by the looks of things. But Jonathan Hernandez has just overtaken the lead of this race with authority over the 90 of Michael Sturgill with that outside lane. Now Thomas Harmon in the middle all by himself. He's going to have no help. Jonathan Hernandez is in the lead of this race right now. As that outside lane still very disorganized, but Thomas Harmon knows how to use the draft. Pinch down the guys on the inside to try and maintain position all by himself. And now he's got help in the form of the 2 of Chris Champeau. And Jaron Sanchez up there having a great race as well in the top 5, just about. This is where everything is going to get really racy as we come to the line to get 2 laps left in this race. If we get a caution before these guys come around to the start-finish line again, then we will go into overtime. As Thomas Harmon now takes the lead of the race in front of Jonathan Hernandez. Hernandez giving a big push to Thomas Harmon. Chris Champeau and Jaron Sanchez trying to work together on the outside line. Champeau looking a little bit shifty, actually. Not exactly holding a line quite well. As we come to the tri-oval. And we get the white flag. White flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. If there's a crash for now, there will be no caution. As that inside line has become a little bit disorganized now. Could this be a maiden victory for the 2 of Chris Champeau? Or will Thomas Harmon take another one? The 4 of Jaron Sanchez pushing as hard as he possibly can there in the middle lane. Sturgill forcing him up high. Sturgill. Oh, we go 3 wide. We got a crash in the back. And everyone has wrecked. Thomas Harmon with the win. Jaron Sanchez P2 and Gary Waterworth finishing in 3rd. What an incredible finish. Absolutely insane. And there are going to be a lot of sore looking cars in the background there. So there is your top 3 on the screen right now. Thomas Harmon, Jaron Sanchez, and Gary Waterworth. What a fantastic race for these guys. And what a way to finish it. As here comes Thomas Harmon. He's going to start doing his burnouts. There's the 8 of Blake Maddies in the way, as per normal. Thomas struggling to do burnouts with the banking. All right, guys, so we're going to go to another quick commercial break now. When we come back, we're going to have driver interviews, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, guys, we are back, and it is time for driver interviews now. And we are kicking things off with our Hard Charger Award winner tonight. And he started from 11th and finished in 4th. Remember, I said only the top 16 were eligible for it. Technically, Gary Waterworth should have gotten it because he qualified, but it's my rules, it's my award, so I make the fucking choice. That's my one for the broadcast. And today's Hard Charger Award winner is the 13 of Travis Massia. Travis, great run by you, man. You finished in 4th after that melee there at the end. We didn't see where you were at the start of the crash and how you got through it, but that's incredible, man. How did you survive that last lap crash, and how was the race for you as a whole?
Oh well, the last lap was pretty crazy there, and then I saw Chris and Jonathan get together, and I thought maybe they were going to go high, so I went low, and then I actually ended up sideswiping them a bit and just finishing through the grass. And Gary finished ahead of me. Otherwise, I would have had third if I would have went high. But those things happen. As far as the race, I tried to stay kind of in the mid pack or the back as much as possible and just kind of ride around. I tried to save some gas because I thought maybe it might go green, so I did that quite a bit through the race, managed my fuel, and I actually had an extra 2 laps because I was kind of banking on that might get a green white checkered at the end. So um, rather than that, I saw Jonathan actually take it 3 wide. I think it was with 7 or 6 laps to go, and I just followed the outside line there on the 3 wide and just kept going through everybody else. And as people dropped off with no fuel, just got up to the front pack.
It was definitely a very hard race to predict who was going to be the leader, as is every super speedway race, but this one more so. It's because the crazy moves that you could see being made, and also the draft, so very important. We saw several times there, outside line dropping back, just because of a little bit of disorganization. So where were you positioned yourself throughout the race? Because I do remember seeing you up towards the front a couple of times, but wasn't as often as what I would expect to see people.
Yeah, I just kind of tested it and seen where things were, and I stayed on the inside for quite a bit, and then when I was towards the back, I just stayed on the outside, and you could just kind of stay there for a while and let people kind of pass you if they want you. But definitely, if you got to the inside and got a good run off the corner and went to the outside, and if there was somebody in front of you, and even if somebody was behind you, you could get up there pretty quickly. So just kind of ran in the back and hung out, but the outside was strong, I thought, as long as you could get people organized and get people lined up and not shifting between the inside and the outside all the time.
All right, man. So this is the end of the regular season now, with this race being complete. So what's the feeling like for you now as we start heading into the chase? Not only the chase, but the lady in black herself, Darlington Raceway.
Yeah, um, I'm a little nervous for the chase. I've never actually raced Darlington. I'm not very good at Richmond, and Bristol is hit and miss for me. But I'll be ready and just try to get strong finishes and get in the top 12 if I can. I'd love to hit the top 12 because you just never know what could happen. I'm pretty good at Las Vegas. Talladega is a coin toss, and then the Roval is the Roval. I've never actually raced it, so see what happens.
All right, man. Well, before we let you go here tonight, anyone I'm going to give a quick shout out to?
I want to thank Jaron for running the league and drivers council, as well as Corey, you for broadcasting. You guys all do an excellent job. I want to say hi to my son Maximus and say hi to my wife Margaret, who are sleeping right now. And thanks to everybody who's helped me out with iRacing throughout the years and output. There's been a lot of people that have given a lot of good advice and always willing to help people. And that's appreciated.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for coming out and having a quick little look at the points, which have been updated since the end of this race. You are sitting eighth heading into the chase. And just quietly, you are the only person in the top 10 in points who has run every single race.
Yeah, I try to make them all if I can. I love racing here, so I try to make them all if it works.
All right, man. Well, thank you for coming out, congratulations on getting the Hard Charger Award, and also congratulations on such a strong finish with finishing in P4 there.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Right, guys, so that was today's Hard Charger and fourth place finisher, Mr. Travis Massier. Coming up next, a man that we've expected big things from because he's always there or thereabouts towards the front. Sometimes bad luck just does not shine upon him, but it did tonight. Luckily, to get through that last lap crash, we're of course talking to the 22 car on the track, the 12 on the track, the 22 in the standings, Mr. Gary Waterworth. Gary, great race by you, man. You were towards the front for pretty much the majority of the race, and you were definitely looking the goods as the laps were unfolding.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun running up there with the guys. It was definitely nice to have a clean race, especially at the plate track, not have to pace. And I was really surprised at how well the second groove worked by myself, even with the side drafting. I didn't expect to want to run up front for this race, but I wanted to make things interesting at the beginning, see how, get a feel for everybody else, and ended up staying up front from there.
And you're also pretty generous with the way that you were acting throughout the race as well. We did notice at one point when Evan Rice went a lap down, you were the lone person in the outside lane who went and picked him up and got him back up to draft speed again.
I like Evan a lot. Shame that he got turned there and didn't get a caution. Had a couple black flags had to get cleared for him, but didn't think he had too much damage, or didn't sound like he got too much damage in the incident. Uh, and I wasn't afraid of losing the draft either because I knew I had a couple guys that were trying to catch us from behind. So picking him up wasn't there was really no negative to it. Just bring him into the pack and see what he could add to it. Hopefully get a lap back.
All right, man. Now let's talk about that last lap. You were just up towards the front, chilling. Jonathan Hernandez and Thomas made that big move around the outside of everyone with a few laps to go. What was the thought process of when you saw the crash and how you're going to navigate your way through it?
Uh, yeah, it all happened pretty fast, but it felt slow in the moment because it just their momentum was just carrying them down, so it was pretty easy to make the decision to go up. I was just really bummed on exit of four there. Sturgill started sputtering, and down the backstretch, I was hoping he would take it three to the middle, but I think he knew he didn't have enough gas there.
All right, man. Well, looking forward now, we have just finished the regular season. And if I have a quick little look at the points, you are in 22nd overall at the end of the regular season. Unfortunately, that means you're not going to make the chase, but how is that going to change the way that you race heading into the chase races?
Uh, I'll be more tentative, or not tentative, but I'll be more aware of who's still got something to actually race for. Maybe give them a little bit more space, but I mean, I intend to drive the same way.
All right, man. We look forward to seeing it. And the first race in the chase schedule is going to be at Darlington. So, what is the feeling like to you heading to the Lady in Black?
Survive. That is my main objective there. Survive and don't get into the outside wall too hard because I'm sure somebody else will.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, man. Congratulations on P3. And we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thanks for putting it on. Thanks, Jaron. And thanks for everybody keeping it clean.
All right. Thank you very much, Gary. We'll see you again. All right, guys. So that was Gary Waterworth, the 22 in the standings, a 12 on the track. And what a fantastic finish it was. Coming up next, we got a man that we never, ever, ever get to talk to because bad luck follows this guy like a black cat who is clawing out a Chinaman while they are breaking windows together. We're, of course, talking to league owner and operator, number 4, of Mr. Jaron Sanchez. Jaron, you got second. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm
This
happy with it.
This has been your best
Wish I could've
result
won.
in a damn long time.
It's hard league to get a top 3 in, that's for sure. Get a win. It's tough. So, man, I'll take a second. It's pretty dicey there at the end, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, let's rewind a little bit here and let's go to the green flag stops happening. What was your strategy on which group to pit with?
Well, they were calling out pitting, and it seemed like there was a lot of guys going for it, and yeah, it looked good on fuel. So I just went as low as I could and tried to pass a few on the entrance, and I was good with it because I think a lot of the guys were about a half lap shy, but I was kind of riding in the back, so I was able to save a lot of fuel. Just being like half throttle and just kind of chilling back there. I get too much anxiety racing up in the front too long, so I saved that for the end, and it worked out because I had enough fuel in the end, and we were able to get a second. So that's cool.
Now let's talk about that final lap now. Big crash as everyone's coming to the line. How were you able to navigate your way through and finish in P2?
I don't even know. I just kind of saw how they were wrecking and knew they were going to go high, so I just tried to go as low as I could. And then I was kind of worried because we have the no passing below the yellow line, but it wouldn't. I was avoiding a wreck anyway, and I wasn't really going to pass Thomas anyway. But I tried to get up above the yellow line before the start finish. It's a bummer I couldn't push Chris to a better finish, but I just couldn't get to his bumper enough times. But still happy with the way it came out. I think Chris still got a 5th place, so not all bad.
All right, man. Now it's time to put on the league owner cap. We're heading into the playoffs now. This was the final race of the regular season, and we have an absolutely stacked build of 16 to take on the challenge of the chase. How are you expecting the chase to go since this is the first time we've run the chase? And then, how are you expecting your chase run to go? Because you're 5th in points at the moment.
Well, the first round has a lot of tracks I'm no good at, so I'd be surprised if I make it past the first round, to be honest. It's going to get kind of stressful. A lot of people are going to be kicking it up a notch, with the eliminations, and it's going to add a lot of stress to the race, and it's going to be tough. But yeah, I'm no good at Darlington, and I think we're going there. I don't know what the schedule is. I don't pay attention. But yeah, I'll be surprised if we make it past the first round with the tracks that are there. Not really suited my driving style for sure.
Well, to let you know, the first round is all long tracks short tracks, over 100 laps, 110 laps of Darlington, 120 of Richmond, and 150 of Bristol.
I think I'll be decent at Richmond. Bristol, yeah, I don't get along with Bristol, but I think I might be decent at Richmond, and I don't know about Bristol, so it'll be tough. If I can make it to the second round, I got a pretty good shot at getting eliminated in the second round.
All right, man. Well, before we let you go here tonight, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, Corey, thanks for doing the broadcast as usual. All the guys coming out and running the leagues. Like to thank Chris for making all these paints and graphics, and Perkins. He's been pitching in on that area too, and my wife supporting this expensive hobby, and everyone for coming out and hanging out and watching, whatever. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for coming out. Thank you for putting on the league. Congratulations on P2, and good luck for the playoffs.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys. So that was today's second place getter, the league owner and operator, Mr. Jaron Sanchez, and an incredible finish there. We never see him up the front. It's crazy. Coming up next, we got a man that needs no introduction. And here he is. Finally got him into the chat now. Of course, we're talking to our winner today. First time win in a little bit, but a good win nonetheless. There's, of course, the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Thomas,
Hi.
you've won the last race. you've clean sweep Daytona for the season, and you've finished the regular season on top in points.
Feeling, for the most part.
All right, well, let's talk about the race as a whole now. Um, During the green flag stops, a little bit of argy bargy with some of the people coming in. What was the green flag stop cycle like for you?
It wasn't too bad. I knew I'd be able to run longer than a good chunk of the people because I did come down and pit under the caution and took fuel to top it off. Granted, it wasn't much fuel, but every little bit helps. And it was just enough to get me. I still had another lap of fuel left, so I just kept it back and pit with the second large group that was second, and that gave me enough to get to the end and not have to worry about saving. Um, but coming down for the pit, it wasn't bad. But Mark was right in front of me, and he decided to brake before taking that left into his pit stall, and it gave my front end a little bit of damage. I think 12 and a half seconds at one point. Um, so I couldn't stay to get that fixed, but happy to get out there, get back on the front, and win it.
Now let's talk about the big move that you and Jonathan Hernandez made around the outside with, I think it was about 7 laps to go. That was incredible. Were you just fixated on following Jonathan to the death, or was it a little bit of a strategic play?
A little bit of both. I, when I got up behind Jonathan, that was a little risky to begin with because I cut Champ off, and he had a bigger run than what I thought. But when Jonathan made that move, um, I knew some of these guys in front of us were going to run out, and I knew he was good because he had pit with me under that green flag run, and I knew that was going to be my best chance to get towards the front, get up to the front, get out of that, being mired at the back of the lead pack there. And so I just decided I'd follow him, hell or high water. And thankfully, we both made it around front, and he hung with me and pulled me out to the front to get ahead of Jonathan into that middle lane, and we just kind of took it over from there.
Now let's talk about that final lap. An incredible crash there as we'll come into the finish line. What did you see, and how did you make sure that you avoided it all?
Um, I didn't see anything until they come shooting across my mirror, but I heard the tires squealing, and I knew that there was going to be some bounce off the wall, and I completely expected a sharp turn to the right. But thankfully, I managed to miss it, and or they managed to miss me rather, and I was able to bring it home.
All right, now let's talk about the start of the playoffs here. First round is going to be at Darlington for 110 laps. What's the feeling like for you heading into Darlington to start off the chase?
I'm not concerned about Darlington or Richmond. My biggest concern is Bristol. I need to figure out. Jaron needs to figure out uh, how the playoffs are going to be handled, because I will not be at Bristol.
Ooh, so that is a big one there. Not going to see
Yep.
our main championship contender at Bristol, at his favorite track of all things.
That's because I will be at Bristol for the playoff race.
Well, I guess that's an all right trade off, but still, that's big news.
Yeah, I've known about it for about a month now, and I mentioned something to Jaron about it, and as well as the other drivers' council guys. But I don't. I think they're up in the air on a few ideas, but I fully expect to uh, be out of round one. Just
Well,
gotta try to dominate those first two races and hope that the points can carry me.
Well, let's hope that the case is you can secure enough points to make it through. But either way, it was a fantastic win today, man. Who do you have to thank before we let you go here tonight?
Shout out to you up in the booth. All the drivers that come out each and every week and race with us and allow us to carry good sized fields week in and week out. Um, Shout out to Jaron and all the other driver council members. They put up with everybody's crap. To all the fans that come out and watch us every week. And I think that's about it.
All right, Thomas. Well, thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on an awesome victory because it was an entertaining race from start to finish. And hopefully you can continue this hot streak that you got going on and maybe possibly win Darlington.
I hope so. I ran well. I've run well there every time I've run there. So hopefully that streak can continue.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Thomas. Congratulations on your win again, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, I'll be there. Have a good one.
All right, guys. So that was today's winner and the winner of the regular season in points, Mr. Thomas Harmon. All right, guys. But that is going to be the end of the broadcast now. I'd like to thank you all for coming out and giving us a watch. Watching this back on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next week, when we start the playoffs, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator, and I will say ciao for now.